Hello and welcome, everyone. Thanks for coming out to the Stover's Farm. We're so glad to have you here with us. Happy early start to the weekend. No, the farm hasn't been canceled, but there have been some major changes take place on the farmland. And I'll tell you why. Frame rate. Totally down to frame rate. I have been chasing uh, these intermittent frame rate drops on this particular game save for the past couple of days. For those that know what I'm talking about, you'll be playing the game. It's running very smoothly, and then it's just like it freezes up for a split second, and then it functions fine again. I think we're back to normal, but I don't know. And yes, you can certainly blame my system. I will admit this is not a extreme PC build. We're on a Mac. We're running a fairly new Mac Studio, the base Mac Studio. So that would be an M1 Max, I believe, with 32 gigs of RAM, plenty of storage space. And I'll throw up a screen grab of the actual graphics that I'm running here in the game, so you can see we're not pushing them too far, but yet we're also not on the low setting for graphics. And one thing I want to mention is if you are on a Mac or PC and you're running the console enabled prompt in the game XML, you can launch the console, and if you hit the tilde button again, I am going to type in show. Actually, I need to turn that off here. Show FPS true. We're going to pull up the frames per second that my game is running right now. And I do have it locked to 90. You can change that now in the game menu. And it runs fairly strong at 90 frames per second. What I was seeing, though, was as I was walking up towards some of the mods I had downloaded, some of the maybe non-official mods, the frame rate would tank down to 19 to 20 frames per second. I have trucks over here. These are official mods on the in-game mod hub, available for all platforms, I believe. A couple of 82 Studio mods, and I believe Agritono with that Lizard F-150. I do apologize if I got that wrong. And you can see as I walk up to them, I mean, we're pegged at 90. And as I walk around them, a little bit of drop here and there as the color is shifting. I'm by no means a computer expert, a game expert, a modding expert. Those out there that are that know more of this than I do certainly comment if I'm getting this wrong. I just know the game is functioning significantly better now that I've gotten rid of some of the mods. I also was running the new hide objects mod that's available. And what I was doing was I was hiding this house and all of the components in the house. And then I took another asset and put it on top of it, that hidden object. But whenever you were in my house, I had like 15 frames per second. It was unusable. So the question, do mods cause performance issues? Well, I think the answer is yes. It's pretty well known. I'm not saying anything new here. But what I think is important to note is that your system performance or your system specifications, they might be very, very high, but you could get a mod that really is just not efficient, and it does impact performance. Now, am I never going to download mods again from anywhere other than the Mod Hub? No, probably not. There are some really, really talented modders out there, and some really awesome mods. And I'm also not even saying that some of the mods I had were necessarily bad. I think they're great mods, the modders that made them. My system just couldn't handle them. The size of this game. We are on the 4X Upper Mississippi River Valley map. And I just have to be more cognizant of the efficiency of the game, because I feel like higher frame rate, smoother gameplay equals better content, especially when you're recording and putting it out on YouTube. So what does that mean for the farm? Well, it just means I need to rethink a few things, potentially do a little building, maybe. Oh, I saw one little drop right there. You could see that. I don't know what that was. That could have been my save feature. Let's bring open console and see here. I don't think anything. I don't think anything was triggered. I do have wildlife turned off as well. I was noticing that when the game was prompting wildlife to come onto the screen, that I was seeing some frame rate drops. But I don't know what that last one was there. So back to the discussion at hand. What does this mean for the Stover Farm in 2007 on the Wisconsin side of UMRV? Well, we just get to do some more building. The 1997 Dodge Ram 1500 that we found in the barn, that's been replaced with 82 Studios TLX 3500, which, for all intents and purposes, looks like a second gen Ram. It's also in the proper color configuration of what I had in the barn. My primary vehicle, well, for now, I'm going to run the TLX 3500 double cab. I am really, really waiting for Agritono's Lizard F350. I would love to see that come out soon. I'm not holding my breath because, well, we got really excited a few weeks ago, and then I think it had to go back in for testing. It will come out when it comes out. Meg, well, she might be driving this F-150, excuse me, F-100, Lizard F-100, and that's okay. She doesn't mind old cars. For the farm itself, well, I'm going to have to rethink some of the housing setup. I don't believe I want to hide the house and then put something on top of it. Again, it was just impacting performance too much. So still a lot of things we're going to do. I think the farm is going to continue just fine. And we're going to make sure we have maximum frames per second so that the content is smooth and crisp. So with that said, I'm going to immediately go and break my rule that I was talking about. I've got this Mac hauler here. This is for all platforms, available in the in-game mod hub. And I was down driving through town and noticed a used vehicle dealership has popped up, and they've got a couple of semis out front. I don't actually have a tractor, a semi-tractor here, and I wouldn't mind having what they've got available. So let's drive down there. I'm going to keep the frames per second open so that you can see them, and maybe we can learn together as I cruise through this map and see if there are any really big hits in performance. I don't know what I just did there. I think the gate hit the truck. I will note I had to send all of the agents back to 2023, back to the investors' Elm Creek 51 facility because, well, the Suburban was also doing something similar, causing the frame rate to crash, and I had 4 or 5 of those on the map. I might even have 1 or 2 of them still sprinkled. I'd have to go back and find them. But I got rid of them. They're safely back in the year 2023, so we're on our own. Yeah, I was driving through town a couple of days ago, and I noticed this dealership popped up, and they had a absolutely beautiful Pete. Looks like it may be late 40s. I don't really necessarily know the actual date, but it's beautiful. And you can see as I'm driving by buildings, getting some frame rate drops, some little touches here and there, and you can clearly see that it does impact performance. That's more than likely the assets on this map that are causing that. I can't think of anything else. I'm just going to run that light. Under the bridge there, again, you can see loading that asset dropped the frame rate pretty significantly. I haven't driven over into this area over here, so My shader cache is probably also building itself up. Ooh, here we go. Here's the dealership. See that? It's that blue Pete right there. That is nice. I don't know. They don't even have a sign up yet for what they're calling this place. But let's just hop out here, and I hate dealerships like this. You get out and they immediately just come up and start hassling you. I hope that doesn't happen here. I don't even know if anyone's here right now. There was a frame rate drop. Do you see that? Very interesting. This is a beautiful old Pete. Now we're up against this one, and you can see staying fairly strong. And this is a non-mod hub mod, but you know, maybe a very efficiently built mod, possibly. But they're calling me. Hold on. He's knocking on the window. Hey, yeah, good afternoon. No, I'm just out here looking. I just drove by, saw that Pete you had out here. What are you asking for it? You want 15.9? And what year is it? Oh, it's old. Okay. So it's got some miles on it, but it looks like it's really great condition. Okay. Well, you mind if you get the keys and we fire it up? Okay. Yeah, I'll meet you out here. So this is a 1967 Peterbilt 359. It is a PC-only mod that has been recently released by CrownZilla on CrownZilla's itch.io page, and it is an absolutely beautiful looking truck. It has so many options. It also has some really unique options that you can buy a perfect condition truck or a not so perfect condition truck with some bent lights and a hood that doesn't close. This one is in really, really good condition. It's got some miles on it, but it sounds like they're asking about 15.5 for it. He's going to bring out the keys. I'd love to fire it up and listen to it. You can also notice I'm not having a major problem with my frame rate. All right, I got the keys. Let's hop in here. Take a look. Interior is in really excellent condition for the age of this truck. I don't know where this is fired up. Sounds really nice. Got no warning lights on the gauges. Motor is nice and quiet. Shaking a little bit, but that's okay. It's an older cat motor. I like this a lot. Well, he said we can go ahead and drive it if we want. I made a mention that I've got my Mac over there. He might take a look at that Mac. Well, the dealership said go ahead and drive it, so let's take it out here. Get my seatbelt on. She's warmed up. Revs fast. Got a 13 speed in it with like double lows. Start off in like 5th gear here. Well, this is a really, really nice truck. I think I'm going to go in and see if I can do a deal on it. I'd like to have it. Well, folks, we did the deal. We were able to make it work. I got $55,000 out of my Mac, and he sold this to me for $15,800. That's not usually how that works. But in Farm Sim, we made it work. What I want to do now, I want to run down here to Prairie State, and I want to see if they have anything in their inventory or potentially in their catalog that they could find for us that is a hopper bottom like trailer. I don't really want to spend a ton of money on it, but if they've got something small. As we get to Prairie State, you can see the frames dropping. So that's pretty expected. But still playable at that frame rate. So I talked with the folks here. They've actually got something out back that was a recent trade-in. It's about a 35,000 liter trailer. That's approximately a little under 1,000 bushels. And they're asking 25,000 for it. I think this will be just perfect. It's got some aluminum wheels on the back. It's nothing special, nothing huge, but this would probably be great for our farm. 2-hopper trailer. I'm just going to pull the trigger because, again, we got such great money for that Mac. Well, we're back home. I think we've done enough damage for the day, but we got a really good deal. We basically got rid of one small straight truck and got us a beautiful classic Peterbilt. Well, I think that's going to do it here for this time on the farm. We promise we won't have the frames per second up for all our videos. I just thought it might be interesting to see the performance as we played through the map, trying to work through some of those mod issues that they really do impact your gameplay. Thank you so much for joining us. If you would, please hit that like and subscribe button. It helps us tremendously. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend. We'll have more videos shortly. Have a good one.